All right, good evening, everyone. It's so good to be here again. And I think this is the first YouTube live that we're having this year. Of course, we've had some live sessions. If you are following on Facebook, on Instagram, we've had some there. And this live stream is actually streaming on both YouTube and Facebook right now. And today I have an amazing guest in the house, like I've been talking about. This conversation is about real estate in Nigeria. Um, like the title says, beyond Lagos. Are there other opportunities everywhere? Is it just Lagos? Is Lagos the only viable investment location in Nigeria? Are there other locations that you can go to that you will still get maximum returns? So, if you are here, you can share this link with your friends. Tell them we are live already, and we will soon have the speaker is somewhere. Is already on standby, waiting to join us. And like I said during the introduction, that's on my Facebook post. I said Engineer Yemi Olodu is one of the astute real estate developers in Nigeria, in Lagos, Ogun State, and in Nigeria. He has shown himself, he and his company, Hybrid Landtech, have proven to be one of the best when it comes to giving clients value for their money. So I'll be inviting Engineer Yemi Olodun. He's already in the house. Let me just bring him on right now. So just tell people that we are live right now. We are currently live. You should join us. Let me quickly put it on my WhatsApp status that we are live so that you can join in. And this promises to be a fantastic time, promises to be a time to learn, to that you indeed gain value. So if you are doing anything right now, come in, get your biro, your writing material, your jotter, and we are set to learn here. Okay. Good evening, Yemi. Engineer Yemi, are you there?
Yes, good evening. Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening. Oh wow, yeah, I can see you are still in your car. I can imagine you are
Mm.
still on the road. How's been your day?
Yes. Lagos lifestyle.
Because lifestyle of an entrepreneur.
It's good to
Well
see you.
done. Thank you so much. I am so happy to bring you here again. This is the second time I'm bringing you on this platform, and I always appreciate that anytime I call on you, you are always available to answer, to give us value here. And I understand that you're a very busy man. You are someone who is very busy, and I mean, obviously, you are still on the road, and you have to do this from your car. So that's so much appreciated. Um, the purpose of this conversation is just to bring to the audience to let them understand um, what's happening in the real estate market in Nigeria, what are the opportunities available. Um, Most people these days want to invest in Lagos. Lagos is like the bride, let me call it that. Lagos is the bride of real estate investment. and everybody wants to invest in Lagos. Understandably so, anyway. Who does not want to have investment in Lagos? Because Lagos has proven to always give any investor value. People are rushing Lagos, and I'm not sure it's going to stop anytime soon. But then the prices of properties have gone so high in Lagos. Real estate has gone high in Lagos these days that someone who does not, who probably a beginner or someone who is a middle class, middle income earner might not be able to buy land in Lagos. So, um, first of all, I want us to talk about Hybrid Land Tech. That's your company. Hybrid Land Tech has been operating in the Lagos and Ogun State real estate space for a while now. Just, I want you to tell us a little bit about the company, the vision behind Hybrid Land Tech, how you set it up, how many of you are running this structure. Is it just you? Are there other partners on board? Are there other investors, so to say? So just share the vision of Hybrid Land Tech with us briefly.
All right. I want to say kudos to you, DG. You are doing a wonderful job, and I can say it's not easy for someone to have passion to always want to give value to their customers. Not everybody would have that zeal, and I appreciate what you are doing. And please just keep it up. I remember I think I started like this from 2017, and it's never a wrong time to start. Yeah, well done, and thank you for always wanting to bring me on board. So I so much appreciate it, very very much from the bottom of my heart, and well done. You even being a
Thank
very 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 good salesperson with hybrid and other companies. Please just keep the good game up. So
thank you.
quickly, my name is Olodun Oyemi Julius. So I co-founded Hybrid and Tech Limited sometimes 2022. Yes, after working with pertinence, because they have to be a start point. They have to be they have to be a school. They have to be a foundation. They have to be a source of knowledge. So I work with pertinence for 5 years before co-founding Hybrid Land Tech Limited in March 2022. We are going to be three this year by God's grace. And our mission and our vision and our work is to give clients, mostly diaspora clients, that has faced issues of bad past experience in the industry, to give them a good face of how the Nigerian real estate market works, even with your little amount of money that you have. So the vision that drives us at Ibeland Tech Limited is one, we have the background knowledge of what happens in the industry. Then two, we don't play with our value chains. Yeah, talking about our contractors, our agents, and value chain meaning a lot of the system that run through the hybrid land tech team and through the real estate team. So we don't play with them. I know as we converse forward, we'll talk more about them and what we've done and what that has kept us strong in hybrid land tech limited is every present client we want to keep investing with us because we have kept up to our word. We've been delivering. And let me pause for now. Thank you.
Well, amazing, amazing. I caught something interesting that you mentioned. You said that one of the idea behind this is to protect client interests. You are customer centric. Even for clients or Nigerians in the diaspora who wants to invest in Nigeria but are not, probably are scared or have had bad experiences, and you are trying to provide value to this clientele. That's amazing. So I want to ask, what are your past projects? What are some of the past projects of hybrid land tech that has brought returns to, that has brought good returns, let me call it that, to your client?
Okay, our past project, I'll pick it from the first one. All of our projects have brought good returns on investment for our clients. Now, even if there are little glitches with liquidity, which is a normal thing in the real estate sector, not you might not really get buyers immediately, but and you can see your market, you can see the physicality, you can feel it. Not something that it is not determined by any factor. So I'm not trying to negate against any business. So first, I'll pick our first product, which was Greensville in 2022. I'll be saying this at the value of what is happening in the market. If you have any product, or if you can check the price of land in Pokaekpe, we sold in 2022 for 2.5 million naira. You can check any of social media and to check the price of property in Pokaekpe now. At least the least you will see now is within 10 to 12 million naira. And imagine our clients bought at 2.5 million naira. So the rest is history. We have Avis Cottage, which we have a residential COO. We launched that product at 5 million naira. And now, I'm talking about, I will not be using the price we are selling now. I'll be referring back to the market value. So it can be quickly checkmate. Anybody can go and check the price of property in North Florida now. The least you will see there is around 15-20 million naira. And it continues like that. We launched, I think our latest product which we launched was in Ibejuleki, that's Elox Living. We launched at 20, and I can tell you competitive market rate now is within 35 to 70 million naira. So to cut the long story short, at Ibe Lantec Limited, with my and my team's technical experience in the field, we only go for strategic locations, so that when you are buying, there's something changed around that location, either a proposed airport, either as accessibility to the express, either a university, either a tertiary institution, or a financial institution, or the livability is high to help sellability. So we always tie our investments to a strategic location, so that when you are buying, you can start feeling the future from the inception of purchase of the product. Because we have clients that we give them, for example, 12 years payment plan. Even as they go on with the journey of that 12 year payment plan, they was now like, ah, Yemi, why didn't we buy more? That even on the 1 year payment plan, the person is already seeing the return on investment even without finish paying for the property. So those are the things we bring to the table to our clients. Value, as in return on investment that you can feel, is not like, no, you can feel it already, even during the process of paying for that particular product.
Interesting. I don't know because I'm trying to imagine the percentage now because fine, IB Lantec started operating in 2022, and if so, I'm assuming now that some of these projects that you mentioned were probably acquired or clients subscribed to them in 2022, 2023. So, and this is 2025, or let's just say this is like we are even in the second month of 2025. That means you are talking about 500%, 600%, 700% ROI on this investment. That's actually massive. But my question now is that it's one thing to for a property to have high potential returns or high potential for returns, and you are seeing that this thing is gaining value. It's another thing for that property to be secure. There are two different things. Like it's not a property that is just not just um, appreciating in value, but it is secure. It's not something that probably governments can wage in, or money can wage in, or natural disaster probably on this kind of things. So how does IB Landtech ensure due diligence, transparency, and investor security? Like how do you ensure that your investors are secure? How do you ensure transparency?
Okay, I'll first break it down to our value chain. Recently, I have 5 years experience in real estate sector. I'm a mechanical engineer. Also, I practice as a builder, that is into property development. That's one. We have two licensed lawyers that work with us. We have 4 surveyors that work with us in house. We have a registered town planner that works with us in house. We have an urban developer that works with us in house. Yes, we have our architect that designs for us. We have a quantity surveyor that works with us. So these are the value chains that a real estate company should have around them at their beck and call, so that they can always do the proper due diligence as to scout for good locations, Our value chain, our contractors are there, our consultants are there to checkmate if these locations are safe for investment, if they are viable, and the likes. So even with our baby year in the industry, we have a C of O on our name. So to show you how far we are ready to deliver value to our clients, even with our baby company, we already have a C of O on IB Land Tech's name. I will not stop. I'm talking about Tavins Cottage now. So this, and I'm not trying to brag, but these are things that some companies, even at their 10 years, 12 years, they don't have. About 2 years, we got a residential C of O, which is verifiable by Ministry of Lands in North Florida, a residential C of O. So even with this care of Ekpe now, we know locations that we still have to do proper, still more regularization, which we are working on. Now to go straight to your answer, how one, our value chains are solidly behind us to make sure that we checkmate all our properties on documentation base. Number one, that's two. And on a Omonile case, we can't run from Omonile. You can never, because they are the root title owners of the land. You can't run from them. And land property is a generational investment. So you might buy for a father, and the father dies, and there is no proper communication to the grandchild or the grandchild. So what we do at Abeokuta Tech Limited is, at purchase time or at purchase transaction, we do videos, we take picture clips, we take their thumbprints, and we keep this and file them for future occurrences. And we make sure that those properties, we communicate some things to our clients. Properties that we are giving them silver, we'll let them know. The one that they are not doing silver, we'll let them know. The one that we can help them secure that silver, we'll let them know. So that there is a proper communication from the beginning of the process or transaction of that investment. So we are friends with Omonile. You can't run from them. Even if you fence and you secure, if Omonile wants to come with your property, they will come. So we make sure that we maintain them. Yes, you have to keep maintaining them, and the relationship with them is very, very, you can't run from them. So another thing we do also is we take possession. I can tell you, we just launched another product now, meaning we have 7 locations, and to the glory of God, we have 4 locations that are fully fenced. We have 4 locations that are fully fenced, and
Mm,
other
that's
ones we are not abandoning them. We are working to secure those locations, because real estate is a very, very, there's cash there, but for you for it to be a sustainable investment, there must be documentation and there must be possession. So we are trying to checkmate on those parts. Thank you.
Oh wow, interesting. Because my next question was to ask you that what sets IB Land Tech apart from other real estate companies, and I think you just answered that question by what you just said about how you take possession, how you don't just buy a piece of estate and just leave it. Because many of us who are in this real estate space, we know what some developers do. They just buy a piece of land. Probably sometimes they don't even pay the Omonile full payment, they just pay part payment and just leave it and start selling. And they are not just selling, instead of using that money to develop the property, to perfect their title, they just keep on selling and not doing anything at all. And posing risk to their subscribers. So if someone should ask me that what sets you apart, I think that's one thing that you just mentioned there. So I won't ask you that question again. I'll just keep to the next one.
No, let
Let's
me
talk
let me
about.
quickly let me quickly just buttress on that. So I'm not
All
bragging. I will
right.
say it for a fact. We have poker is fully paid. There's date of assignment
Wow.
to it, and we started fencing already. That was our first location. I think we fenced up to 50%, and we have a gatehouse. Number two, Evans Cottage. Evans Cottage is fully paid. We have little there. We have 5 acres. They're fully paid. There are documents to it. There are deed of assignment to it. There are surveys towards it that you can show as proof. Transactions receipt. And we fenced 70%, and that's the location that we have that it has a residential COO in Ekpe. We are one of the first, I should say the first real estate company that to have a residential COO on our name, IB Land Tech Limited. We have Homes View is a 15 mini estate, fully fenced, fully paid for. We have Elox Living is a 3 acres of land, fully fenced, gated, fully paid for. So we have X States, which is a 17 acres, fully paid for, but we have only fenced 30%, and we have a gatehouse. So the latest product we have, which is in Ota, will still come to that. We started working on possession, and it's less than a month. So these are the things that we might, our name might not be popular, but I can tell you any client that deals with us will see the genuinity on how we want to deliver a good property to our clients. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Um, I just, of course, I'm not a stranger to hybrid land tech, so to say, and these are some of the things that, because while we are trying to protect client interest, sometimes we want to ensure that they are not falling into the wrong hands. Because most times, some people just assume that they want to invest in real estate and just, let me just contact just anybody. Most times, the people that know what's going on are people who are in the industry. Everybody know who is doing the right thing, who is not doing the right thing, and all that. So that's one of the things I'm very proud about this company for. And I'm even grateful to hear because some of these things that you are talking about now, I didn't know about them before. So it's a good thing that you are very customer centric. It's like it's at the core value of what the company stands for. That's very great. So I want us to talk about how real estate is shifting from Lagos. But first, let's talk about one thing. Why is I might call it an obvious question, but then from an expert angle, why is Lagos real estate always booming? Because I understand you have properties in Ekpe, which is in Lagos, in Bejuleki. These were locations that were probably bush less than 5 years ago, and now they are in millions, hundreds of millions. So why does that keep happening? And do you think because some of the things that people say is that Lagos real estate will burst, something like that, that it's a bubble that will burst. Do you think it's a bubble that will burst or it will continue to boom?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now, something favors Lagos against or against other states is the law of demand and supply favors Lagos State. Yeah, the law of demand and supply favors Lagos State massively. How? The demand is high, the supply is low, and the supply is the land. Yeah, the supply is the land is low. So every land you see in Lagos State, you have 1,000 people looking for it, searching for it, that want to acquire it. Yeah, because the demand is very, very high, and the supply, which is land, is low. Because Lagos, the entire square meter of Lagos State is little to other states. But other states, and what has put Lagos State in a landscape of investment attraction is, it everything favors Lagos State, developmental wise, economical wise, side attraction. It's all favor. Everything is in Lagos State, which is, Lagos State was once a federal capital. And even outside that, investors really want to come here because the life is there actually. And one thing I will keep saying again is the law of demand and supply favors Lagos State. Even with all the social media noise making now that the properties are overpriced, people are still buying.
Yes, people are still buying
Yeah.
despite the noise.
Just two
I
weeks
think
ago, just 2 weeks ago, I still see a deal of 6 plot at Ogomo for a client, and the client paid outrightly. For them, just the client did 330 million naira, and some people will just sit down, put their ring light, and be fine. The prices need to be regulated, but take or leave, people still want to put their money in Lagos State. People still want to put their money in Lagos State. Funny enough, the place we I'm talking about now is a 39 plot. I was still bragging I sold 6 plots, and I saw somebody that sold the entire 30, the remaining 32 plots. Yes, we were on site today. I was bragging. I sealed a deal of 6 plots. My shoulders were high until I saw someone that sold the remaining 37 plots. Yeah, yeah, the remaining 33 plots, 32 plots. Sorry. Yeah, a small girl. Sorry to say. No, she's not a small girl again. She just bought one GLK, and
she should. She should. She's still
And
a
the funny
small
thing,
girl selling 32 plots of land.
the people buying the land are the Easterners, and some Easterners will just sit down and be blabbing. And Easterner did 55 million times 32. Multiply it now. One person paid it outrightly in billions. So let's just leave that. So Lagos is in its prime because the law of demand and supply favors Lagos State. The Lagos State is well planned that the next eight set of governors, that is 8 times 4, that is 32 years time to come of Lagos is well planned. You can see now they've seen that there's a plan already for Lagos State. The Ikeja is small. They are coming to Ibejuleki now to put a massive airport. That's another lifetime investment of opportunity already coming. Dangote refinery, they've been crying it now. It is now in existence. It is still in Lagos State. The free trade zone, it is still in Lagos State.
Yes.
Alao City is there. Alao City is another country on its own. Alao City exists as so lot of demand and supply favours Lagos State. Fine, people say the government are not doing much, but Lagos State, they don't play with Lagos State. So the investment attraction will still keep coming to Lagos State. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So let me pause because if we
With
because
you.
it I really have little time to really spend here. So other states are now waking up. Yeah, I see Ogun State now. Ogun State is coming
Um,
fast. Ogun State is coming. They just the cargo port. There's Ogun State to collaborate with Lagos State now, so that the I think the red the blue trail is going to link to Ogun State.
so,
They are
so
trying to work on their
that's what we
airport.
are getting. That's what we are getting to right now. Talking about. All right. So talking about other states, I mean, you already mentioned Ogun State and every other state waking up, and that's something that is, I think I consider it good news for investors because many people want to invest in real estate, and the assumption is that if you are not investing in Lagos, no place else is worth it, or you shouldn't. You should only put your money in Lagos, and because of that, most of these people they are now at the middle. They are not investing the money, you are just leaving it following the bank because you are waiting to gather enough money to invest in Lagos. Why there are opportunities out there. So I want us to talk about some of these opportunities out there. What are some of the emerging hotspots or emerging locations that you feel can, of course, not match up to Lagos, but they can measure up for investors who are also seeking value in the real estate market? Bless you. Okay. Okay, I think the network is shaky on engineer Yemi's end. Let's just wait a bit and see if the network gets back. Yemi, let us know when you are back online, please. So if you are just joining us, we have been talking about the real estate market in Nigeria, about real estate in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. And perhaps you have questions, you can ask your question in the comment section. Maybe you want, if you have any question for our guests, please just type your question in the comment section and we will be glad to answer that question. And if you are here, if you are following, just type. Also, you can just type in the comment section that I'm here, I'm getting value, or let's just feel your presence so that we know that we are not talking to ourselves alone. All right. If you have any question, you can drop it here so that as the conversation goes on, we'll be able to answer some of these questions. While we wait for Engineer Yemi, again, let me know if you have any question. Just type your question in the comments section. So have you been trying to invest at all? Do you have questions? Have you been trying to invest in real estate and you don't know where to? You don't know where to put your money. You don't know which location fits you. You don't know what to do. You don't know which location is best for you. This is part of what you'll be getting here. So you should just stay around for this conversation. This is part of what we are going to be talking. We are already talking about. Um, is Lagos only the best location for you to invest? Of course not. We have said that already many times. That Lagos is not the only place you can invest in. There are other states, especially in the southwest of Nigeria. There is Ogun State, there is Ondo State, there's Akure in Ondo State, in Ogun State, Abeokuta, Ota, Ijebu-Ode. These are some viable locations. And outside the southwest, we have locations like Asaba in the south part of Nigeria. Asaba in Delta State is booming right now. You can invest in that location. We also have, of course, Port Harcourt has always been a fantastic location for real estate investors. But in Rivers State, aside from Port Harcourt, there are also parts of Rivers State that are viable options for investors right now. Enugu is coming up at a very fast rate. In fact, in the southeast, they are coming up at a very fast rate. Investors are taking advantage. So you shouldn't only focus on Lagos and Abuja. There are other opportunities for you out there. So we are still waiting for Engineer Yemi to join us. I think he has network troubles. Let me try and reach out to him. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, sorry for the long wait. We are still trying to fix engineer Yemi's network. You know, he joined us on this conversation from the road. He has been on the road all day and he just joined from the road. So I think maybe the network on the road just went off or something. That's why he's still struggling to connect back. But let's just hold on a bit and wait for him. I'm sure you have been getting value so far. So just hold on for a few minutes. I'm sure he will sort out that network part very soon. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can ask. If there's something you want me to talk about, you can ask the question in the comment section so that I can answer you. You can also let me know where you are joining from. Are you watching this on YouTube or Facebook? What part of Nigeria are you watching this from? Do let me know so that I can say hello to you. It can be funny sometimes. In Nigeria, you just plan these things and you don't know that the network has other plans for you. You are not the only one that has plans. The network also has its own plans. It can switch up on you know, especially our MTN, our Airtel, and the networks that we use in Nigeria. Sometimes they prove unreliable, but we still have to use them anyway because what do we have? So just bear with us. Sorry for the long wait. Like I said again, if you have questions, just ask in the DM. If there's something you want me to talk about, we can quickly have a chat about that while we are waiting for engineer Yemi. Give me another 2 minutes. Let me try and contact him again to see what's the progress of that network issue over there. Thank you. Just 2 minutes, please. Okay. So instead of just waiting, I think what another thing you can do is that I will talk about some of these locations that we have been talking about. I will just give you an overview based on my own knowledge, and then when engineer Yemi comes on, we give the specifics of some of these locations. First, I want to talk about a location like Akure in Ondo State. Now, I'll just start by citing an example of one of the estates that I'm familiar with in Akure, which is Mass Garden City in Akure. In what year we were in 2023, that's 2023, Mass Garden City Akure, there was a time the land was being sold at 700,000 naira, 700,000 700,000 naira, 800,000. I have clients that bought it, at that rate. And this is 2025. Before the price currently is 4 million naira per plot. And before then, there was a time it was 1 million or 1.5 million naira. But I'm just saying that within 2 years, the value of that land went from 700,000 naira to 4 million naira. If you think about that, it shows you the massive potential in this city. And one of the reasons why this city is a good option for investors, that's Akure City right now. Why it's a good option for investors is that Akure is considered one of the most peaceful city in Nigeria. Akure has been many times people say this is one of the peaceful cities in Nigeria, and many people, freelancers, people who remote workers, they want to live in a city like this where who doesn't like the noise of locations like Lagos. They just want to live somewhere calm and somewhere where they don't have to pay high rent, and they have, they can be assured of good roads and the lights. So this is part of the reasons why this location is booming. And also Akure is also expanding. There is this rural urban migration that is bringing in people into Akure. So there are some parts that were actually like a whole stretch that is entirely bush. But when you get to those areas today, you find massive development going on there by private developers, by governments and the likes. For instance, in Ondo Road, part of Akure, there is recently the federal government approved the dualization of that road. What that means is that the single lane road will become a dual carriageway, and it's a boom for the real estate in that area. Apart from that, there are many estates that are coming up there, more than 10 estates. Anytime I go to that location, it's almost as if something new is happening. There is always something new. You see a new development, you see an investor has, cleared the part of that. They are there's a construction going on, there's a fencing going on and all that. So developments upon developments every now and then. These are pointers to the growing value of this area. So if you want to invest and you don't have all the big money of Lagos, you can come down to Akure and invest here. There are people who come to Akure to invest. They are not based in Akure, they just invest here. And that's another thing I should let you know. It's not compulsory that you invest in the place where you live or where you want to live. What should matter to you is the economics, the logic, not the sentiment. So what should matter to you is this location, is it good for investment? Is it somewhere I should put my money in? These are some things that you should consider, not just thinking about I don't want to stay here. You don't necessarily have to stay here before you own real estate here. And it's part of building your portfolio, your investment portfolio. You can have investment all around Nigeria, just for you to have a way of managing that portfolio. That's a conversation for another day. But if this is something you want to do, you can always reach out and I can put you through. Another thriving location right now is Ibadan. Ibadan has, you know, Ibadan is also enjoying the benefit of being close to Lagos. But apart from that, Ibadan in itself, because Ibadan is like one of the most populated, is it has this large land space, and it's also well populated. So Lagos has small size, highly populated. Ibadan is big and also has a dense population. So this is an option for investors who are looking for alternatives. There's also there are areas like Ido, like Omiadio, like Moniya, Iseyin Road. These are some of the areas that you can put your money in, and you can be sure of good returns in a few years. The reason why you see development happening around there is some of this is because of the projects going on there. In Monia, for instance, there is a train station. There is also a recently approved dry inland port. Inland ports are, like the seaports. The dry inland ports are for, they are not by the sea, they are on land. So um, probably train, or yeah, usually trains bring goods from the seaport to that dry port to be cleared. And if this comes into full implementation, to full operation, you are going to see a massive boom in the real estate of that area. But as an investor, you should not wait for those things to happen before you start buying or start investing. Investing usually favors the early comers, people who come in, um, who are the first ones to take advantage of that area. And there's always a saying that find out where people are going and get to that place first before other people. Pardon? So yes, find out where people are going and get to that location before every other person. So don't wait for all this to materialize before you invest. I have people that have invested in some part of Ibadan, and in a matter of a year or two, they are seeing value around that location already. Then let's come to Ogun State. Of course, people always say, I've heard someone tell me that Ogun State is Ogun State is not, that the land in Ogun State does not really usually appreciate like that. That Ogun State does not. But let me tell you the truth, this is no longer the case. Like what Yemi said before the network went off, he talked about how other states are already waking up, how other states are, trying to do things to ensure that they are also meeting up, or at least up to a reasonable degree with Lagos State. So in Ogun State, there are different projects happening in Ogun State, and if you go to Ato or in Ota, for instance, you see massive development going on around there by the government, by private sector. There is a road construction that leads to Badagry from that axis. There's even a massive, a super highway that I heard we terminate in Sokoto State. Imagine a road that spans through Ogun State to Sokoto State. So that's going to be a super highway, and it's a highway that's going to benefit people who owns property in that axis. In Aton, Aton is close to, we have the Canaan land of Winners Chapel in that axis, and the Ark, that massive project that is being done, the over 100,000 capacity um, building that is going on there. And by the time this is complete, the traffic, the human traffic, the way people will move to that axis is going to be enormous. So this is not something anybody should miss out on. And in case you want to invest in Atom, that's Ota, for instance, there is a new development by IB Landtech. That's part of what I wish Engineer Yemi was here to talk about, because though it has not been launched, but it is at the pre-launch stage, and this is a very good opportunity for people who want to invest, that they can come in right now before it is going, before it is fully launched. So if you want to know more about this, you can send me a message. I will help you to reach out to Engineer Yemi so that you can tap into this investment. It is in Ogun State, in Atonota. I think the land is being sold at a pre-launch price of less than 3 million naira right now. But I'm sure by the time it is launched, maybe next month or thereabouts, we won't be talking about less than 3 million naira or the 2 million naira price range. So if you want to plug in, this is the best time to plug in. Don't wait any longer for when the price shoots up or anything like that. All right, since the network has not allowed engineering to come back, um, I've tried to educate you on some parts of this that is important, and I probably hope we'll still have this in one way or the other sometime later so that we can talk more in depth about some of these locations that we have not really touched some on the major important points. So we can talk about this some other time. You can probably, if you want to get more details, you can send me a DM so that I will know that you are following this conversation. Um, I would also try to bring back Engineer Yemi maybe some other time. I'm hoping that he would have the time. I mean, he's a very busy person. I'm hoping he has the time. So let's hope together that he has the time to join us again for this conversation. It is almost 1 hour now. I don't want this to exceed 1 hour already. So thank you so much for joining. If you are here from the beginning, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening so far. I really hope you did got value, and it wasn't a waste of your time. Sorry about the network issue that took Yemi off this live feed. It would have been a fantastic. I mean, it was the conversation was about getting more interesting. I mean, he has even given us some very interesting stuff before the network took him out. Uh, but then, what can we do is network. Nobody has any power over that right now, and that's part of the advantages of having these kind of conversations physically sometimes. But if you want to learn more, reach out to me. You can send me a DM on my social media handle, or you can message me. My phone number is 08032950292. So you can send me a message on WhatsApp through that phone number, and I'll be glad to answer any question that you have. So thank you so much for joining this conversation. I'm hoping that we have this some other time in a much better way, comprehensively and all that. Thank you so much. Have a good night's rest. Bye.